Global warming. Oh, climate change. Arctic lost nearly 95% of its old ice since 1984. Hindustan Times reporting. Extinction of species and possible nuclear winter, everyone. Humility. There are so many things to rant about, but I'll start with humility. And very humbly first, I do have to apologize to the Cuban people. I totally forgot to say earlier on, at the very first thing, give my condolences. I'm so sorry for your loss. And in all humility, something that I've at no point have I remembered to mention. I mean, my more than humble apologies to the Greek people for what was done to you and your country by everybody, IMF, European Union, German, Deutsche Bank, anyone. I'm so monumentally sorry. Again, if it was up to me, the World Trade Organization would not exist. There would be no globalization. There wouldn't be this European Union. Nothing like this. I didn't vote for this. There would be no euro. In Finland, we didn't even get a vote on euro. We would have actually rejected euro. So that's why they didn't give us a vote on it. So again, democracy isn't, we don't have it anymore. There's nothing, one person in Finland, there's nothing I can do or could do, but I am so sorry. I'm so sorry for what's been done to you. And I don't know what sorry is in Greek. And I don't actually know what it is in I guess Spanish, which must be the language in Cuba. But I am sorry. Some world news humbly. The most important one of the day. Australian high school students have created 3.7 grams of an active ingredient used in the medicine Daraprim for $20. I don't know if it's Australian or US, which would sell in the United States for between 35,000 US dollars and 110,000 US dollars. ABC reporting from Australia. So again, since I don't know if I've touched it here, but of course, again, not just to be trying to prove that we are not stupid. Of course, the drug industry is one of the greatest criminal organizations on the planet. There are many others, but it is one. And just to let you know, we know. Planet Earth crew devastated as 150,000 antelope die in front of them in the space of just 3 days, Mirror reporting. And that, of course, most of us knew about this mass extinction. But I mean, since I've been forgotten to say, since it was, a viral infection and so on, I hope somebody somewhere knows where did this virus come from, what it is all about. Brazilian Supreme Court takes step towards decriminalizing abortion, plus55.com reporting. Now, I haven't read any more what takes step. Of course, it's very nice. Of course, abortion should be decriminalized. But again, considering that students are protesting, and and there is, there's a huge political problem. I mean, disaster in Brazil at the moment. Civilian matters are often used as a way of distracting everyone. And you know, it just somehow leaped to mind. I don't know. Millions of Japanese over 35 still live with mom and dad. Elderly parents face late retirement to support adult offspring. Bloomberg reporting. Now, I don't know anything more about this. And again, I've said I would love to have some sort of channel to Asia and, you know, to Japan at the same to know what's going on, you know, and how is this great age of neoliberalist hell, how is it going there? But this would seem to give an implication that we're all in the same hell at the moment. UK surveillance law receives royal assent. Tim Berners-Lee calls it security nightmare. BBC now suddenly reporting. I mean, it is a disaster. I've said it so many times before. It's a disaster. But I mean, again, I do hope that the rest of Europe takes note. I mean, what happened here? I so hope. Erdogan says, we entered Syria to end Assad's rule. Hurriyet Daily News reporting. I'm sure you did. German arms company Heckler, I guess, und Koch, to no longer supply undemocratic, corrupt countries. The move would rule out arms deals with Saudi Arabia, Mexico, Brazil, India, and even NATO member Turkey. The Independent reporting. Undemocratic, corrupt countries. That would pretty much rule out, you know, UK and the USA and, you know, almost every country I know of. Although I don't know who buys German weapons. But still interesting. Dutch Parliament votes to ban burqas, niqabs in some public places. News Trust reporting. The whole world, and this is going to be one of my next rants without a question. I mean, the whole world is going right-wing extreme. I mean, this is so bad. Prince Al-Walid bin Talal says Saudi women should drive. Time.com. No crap, my dear Sherlock. Canadian police to punish drunk drivers with Nickelback. BBC reporting. And I remember this was the funniest one of the day, and somebody, I think somebody somewhere said, you know, isn't torture against the Geneva Conventions? Just funny. Anyway, now to humility, because again, now it is very difficult to be humble, really. I mean, again, I don't, at all the time I have to say that I don't know enough. Again, now with the death of Fidel, I cannot, from all I don't, without actually having been able to talk to him, I cannot tell you how good or bad a guy he was. I can easily tell that, you know, he existing ended up doing much more good than ever harm. But I cannot actually say whether he was a good or bad guy, and you know, the information and it is so difficult to try and get the right, get the truth from anywhere. But anyway, again, to humility. I mean these ridiculous comments by Donny Tiny Hands, where he says, you know, that he's going to go back with the any deal with Cuba until much more rights are given to the Cuban people. Like Donny Tiny Hands would know a Cuban you know, a Cuban from Donny's arse. I mean, how absolutely outrageous is that? I mean, how totally arrogant it is to try and speak for the Cuban people. This United States con man. And again, to all the people in the world who supported him and somehow thought he was anti-establishment and some sort of working for the working man, you know, who didn't, all of you people who didn't know that he was a con man, and not only a con man, but a very bad con man. I hope during these years to come you are, you know, going to feel humble. I mean, that's the again, it's everywhere. Nobody has any humility at all. You have to be able to say you were wrong, and only through that can you learn anything. And everybody leaves it out at the moment, everywhere. They just say, anyone, Anna Kasparian can say that I hope this is a learning period. Only if somebody has humility, after that they can learn anything. It's always been one of my beefs against the Russian people. Many of them, especially them who have now been then spouting nationalist propaganda during the Putin era, they didn't seem to have any humility whatsoever. They say they were a great country and whatever. Well, please, everybody, be as great countries. I've always thought that great is such an interesting word overall. I mean, anything can be great. I would have nothing against the Academy Awards if they were, you know, if they were just awarding the greatest picture of the year. That would be just fine, just fine. You know, when they try and suggest that they're awarding the best picture, that's when I have an issue, almost every time. You know, please be as great as you want. But again, I mean, I don't understand. There were so many Russians. Again, they couldn't know any better, just like many Trump voters couldn't know any better, or many people around the world who were supporting him. They couldn't know any better. But they really thought that there was a horror story on the other side of whatever eastern border or border between East and West. That it was a horror story in Western Germany or Great Britain or Finland. We were all living in some sort of slave society. Actually, now we are, which is very interesting. But still, finally we've arrived. But when the Soviet Union collapsed, and there's no way that they couldn't see that what they thought about the Western world was wrong. At no point did I notice them to be saying, "Oh, gee, we were wrong," you know. And I'm so. A year from now, I do know what sorry is in Russian, okay? But anyway, at no point did they say that okay, I admit I was seriously wrong. And if they had, it might have led, some humility might have led to a better government than the Putin government. And of course, the same thing in the Chelsea Manning country. If people there would have at some point said that they were completely mistaken, totally wrong, diluted, diluted? Oh no. Perhaps they wouldn't have had Georgie W. Not to mention this ridiculous thing that they have now. You know, that'll be my rant for today. Humility, please, 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 please. It doesn't kill you. It really doesn't.